Their faces for the first time after 10 days inside a dark space behind a collapsed tunnel in Uttarkashi. Imagine the exhilaration for the families of those 41 workers. We have felt that exhilaration seeing those faces. Imagine what their loved ones are feeling right now. I'm going to take you across, I'm going to show you those pictures and tell you what they mean in terms of the timeline before not just their faces, but the workers themselves emerge from that tunnel. I'm Shiv, this is 5 Live, the headlines first. Storm over Prime Minister Modi's Team India video in the dressing room. Rahul Gandhi wades in, criticizes the Prime Minister. BJP hits back and demands an apology. India allies claim Prime Minister should have met the players outside. It's a big, epic meltdown by a triggered opposition. Centre sounds alarm over spurt of deepfake videos. IT Ministry to hold key meeting to tackle deepfake dangers on November the 24th. Congress chief hurls fake backward jibe at Prime Minister Modi, who is an OBC. BJP hits back, accuses Congress of harbouring hatred towards Modi and the OBC community. Top court pulls up Punjab government under the Aam Aadmi Party over spike in farm fires. Directs the Bhagwant Mann government to stop giving MSP benefits to farm fire violators. Ekta Kapoor bags Directorate Award at the International Emmys. Veer Das wins big for his Netflix comedy special. Shefali Shah and Jim Sarg lose out.
This award is for you, India, and all the Indians here. We are few, but we're enough. This is for you, India.
It's taken 10 days for us as a country to get our first images of the 41 trapped tunnel workers. These are images that have been made possible thanks to a laparoscopic camera that was tunneled through one of the pipes to give us these first images of the tunnel workers. Images of them peeping in from the pipe, images of them standing in that collapsed space after the debris cornered them into that area. For 10 whole days, their ordeal has been a national story here on India Today. And now for the first time, it is our privilege to bring you these images of the 41 tunnel workers and the first images of what that space actually looks like. It's dimly lit. They're wearing their hard hats. They're still wearing their high visibility equipment. But the tiredness, the exhaustion, the distress is writ large on each and every one of their faces. I'll be taking all their names in just a moment from now, viewer, but I wanted to show you these pictures because it has been 10 days, and at this point we are told, at least 3 to 4 days from an actual rescue. So a camera has reached them. We're able to see their faces. They've been able to speak to their loved ones, most crucially, who are able to see their faces and communicate with them in real time for the first time in 10 days. But that rescue of these 41 men is still at least 3 to 4 days away. Let me quickly update you on the technicals, on the specifics of where things are at right now. I've just shown you how video contact has been established with each and every one of those workers. This endoscopy camera has been sent through the pipe. It's a medical camera. It's been sent through the pipe, and that's how we're getting these amazing images of our citizens, the 41 workers. It's a 6-inch pipe that has been inserted right through the debris for communication. So food and other things can be sent through that pipe, but not it can't be used for rescue. So food, medicine, khichdi and other things have been sent through that very same pipe that has been used for the camera. 800 millimeters, which is basically a little less than a meter in diameter pipe, is being inserted as we speak, along with a 900 millimeter pipe, which is almost a meter. These are the two pipes through which the 41 workers will have to actually crawl through. So now we know that they are safe. There is visual proof that they appear to be physically completely okay. The big question now is how many days, really, they say 3 to 4 days, but how many days from now is this going to end in a full rescue? Here's the very latest that we have for you.
No way out yet. But a slender 6-inch pipe strategically threaded through the debris has provided a glimmer of hope. Captured in a semicircle formation, a gripping 30-second video filmed through a medical endoscopy camera. Approximately a dozen men in helmets engaged in communication with rescue teams outside. The tunnel illuminated with functioning lights. A proverbial ray of hope for their loved ones on the outside.
हाँ, मैं तो रेगुलर बात कर रहा हूँ. जब एक्सीडेंट हुआ है उसी टाइम से मैं पहुँच गया था और पर डे में बातचीत कर रहा हूँ. वो भी ठीक है. उसके साथ साथ जितने भी स्टाफ हैं अंदर में सभी ठीक हैं.
Serving hot meals, including rice and lentils, sent to the trapped men. Until now, the workers sustained themselves on dehydrated food sent through a narrower pipe. Oxygen being supplied through a dedicated tube. An intense battle waged on multiple fronts. Navigating fragile terrain and contending with rubble on one side and grappling with emotions on the other.
थोड़ी सी खुशी और उम्मीद हुई आप लोगों को उनसे बात करके कि वो ठीक है.
बहुत सारी उम्मीद हुई. उसको मैंने बताया. उसको पता है कि मैं आपका स्वास्थ्य चल रहा है. नीचे से आपको लोग को वही पाइप के द्वारा निकाला जाएगा.
Rescuers adopting an alternative approach after horizontal drilling vibrations triggered additional debris falls. Teams now constructing an access road to the hilltop from where they'll dig vertically.
मेरे पीछे आप जो सतह देख रहे हैं ये वही हिस्सा है जहां आपको लाल झंडा दिखाई दे रहा है. जियो सर्वे की टीम है जिसका सामान यहाँ पर है और यहीं से खुदाई होनी है. दरअसल काफ़ी तैयारी नीचे से दे आपने सबको समतल कर दिया गया है. यहीं से बोरवेल होना है. यहीं से लगभग 81 मीटर नीचे पाइप भेजी जाएगी ताकि उन मजदूरों तक पहुँचा जा सके. वर्टिकल ड्रिलिंग सबसे महत्वपूर्ण परियोजना है ताकि नीचे अगर ऑल्टरनेटिव जो हॉरिजॉन्टल ड्रिलिंग है उससे काम नहीं चलता है तो कम से कम वर्टिकल ड्रिलिंग के जरिए मजदूरों को बचाया जा सके.
The rescue teams must dig 338 feet downward to reach the trapped workers, simultaneously pursuing horizontal excavation. Maintaining the morale of the trapped men poses another significant challenge. A comprehensive, 5-pronged strategy at the Silkyara tunnel. Hope and resilience converge, tirelessly pushing towards a resolution. With Ashutosh Mishra and Amit Bharadwaj from Uttarkashi, Bureau Report, India Today.
So we've seen the men in there. We've seen how that endoscopy camera has been, inserted right up to where they are inside that zone where they are trapped for the last 10 days. Now I want to show you how many different pipes have either penetrated through the rubble or are currently being attempted to be pushed through. Take a look at how this actually looks. There are a multiplicity of pipes. Now, supply pipe number 1 is just 4 inches in diameter. It's a tiny pipe. That's the first pipe that was used to send in water and, basic food items. Now, a larger pipe, 6 inches in diameter, 53 meters long, is the pipe through which khichdi and fruit and other things are being supplied. So, higher protein fruit. Now, this supply pipe number 3 is 90 meters long, 320 meters from the tunnel. This is also an emergency supply route through which food items is said to be planned to be sent to the pig. Now, the big challenge right now and the big focus right now is evacuation pipe number 1. As you can see, it's a wide pipe, 900 mm, not M, 900 millimeters in diameter, which means it's nearly 1 meter in diameter. Comfortably, humans can crawl through it. It is through this particular pipe that the rescue officials want all or at least some of the workers to be able to climb through. But apart from this, there are other, just as a backup, there are other evacuation pipes as well. There's this one, which is a 170-meter evacuation pipe. There's an evacuation pipe number 3, which is also 320 meters distant. Length is 90 meters, and 325 meters in is a evacuation pipe number 4. So you've got 4 separate evacuation pipes. You've got 3 supply pipes at this point of time to try and ensure that every last man, 41 men inside that collapsed tunnel, make it out alive. So 3 supply pipes, out of which 2 are currently active. None of the evacuation pipes, obviously, are active at this point of time. So let's get a word in from our reporters on the ground who've been fronting this story, giving this story a face, and bringing us the very latest. Ashutosh and Amit are on site. They've been there. They've been camping through the night as well to get us the very latest on this. Amit, quickly coming to you first. Day 10. The big story, of course, today is that, the families and all of us have been able to see the faces of those men. Given that 10 days have gone by in total darkness. We've not seen their faces, we've heard their voices, which has a very haunting quality of its own. To see their faces has brought some reassurance.
Absolutely right, Shiv. Those images are really crucial images because right in the morning I had spoken to the family members of one Virendra Kisku, who's a labor stranded inside the tunnel, his family members, his brother, a sister-in-law and wife Rajni. All 3 had spoken to India Today, and they were very, I could actually sense a sug of relief that they had after seeing those visuals. However, Virendra's image was not visible in that particular video and images which had come out in the first round. But they were saying that, we heard so far from the government that they are safe, they are healthy. Now that we have seen the images, our hopes are high, our morale has increased. And remember, this is not only for the family members, but also for the workers who are stranded inside. The fight is not only about being in a safer location right now. You have to be in a right mental and emotional state as well. And this particular communication channel which has been opened up, this will not only supply food, medicines, but also help in having a clear-cut communication as well. We have also accessed video in which we can see that, family members of these stranded workers were allowed to speak to their these workers. So this is a big day, big development, communication channel set up, food supply set up. You have endoscopy camera getting those visuals from inside, and along with that, family members being able to speak as well. A quick word, Shiv, there are several plans that you discussed right now, the rescue plans, but I have been also to Balkot end, which is the other end of the tunnel, and these central agencies don't want to waste upon any option and opportunity that they have right now. They have already started the work of the backup rescue tunnel as well. In case, unfortunately, of all these horizontal and vertical drillings that we are talking about, if all this fails, what happens? In that case, the backup rescue tunnel is the only option, the safest but the longest option that will be left with the agencies, and that is being dug up in Balkot end. 3 meter in diameter, 8 meters of length has been already covered. The only problem in that plan is that in 24 hours of span, the agencies will be able to go ahead with only 8 meters per day, which means, if you have to go around 500 meters, it might take 2 months or so. But let's hope that the agencies don't have to rely on that plan, and either the frontal, horizontal or the vertical drilling works out.
Let's just, Amit, stay with me. Ashu, I'm going to come to you in just a moment. I just want to illustrate for our viewers, our graphic team has put together this simulated view of where that drilling is actually taking place from. Because most people are confused about what this crisis position actually looks like. Let me zoom in for you to show you where that drilling is taking place. The first big drilling is from the Balkot end. 450 to 480 meters. Horizontal drilling is needed at this point of time. That's the main rescue shaft that is currently being drilled for a 900 millimeter diameter pipe through which it is hoped that these 41 workers will be able to crawl out of. There is a hilltop vertical drilling required of about 89 meters. That's the evacuation pipe number 2 that I was showing you, through the mountain, much more challenging. And then from the Silkyara end, which is the other end of the tunnel, 60 to 70 meters horizontal drilling is needed. So 3 separate evacuation pipes, all entering that cavern where these 41 persons are trapped, is happening in parallel at this point of time. Let me bring in Ashutosh, who's been there first on site, bringing us all of those updates. He's been speaking to the top men of the rescue teams as well. Ashu, very specific question, and I know it's a difficult one because this story is changing every day, but we've been told 3 to 4 more days could bring a big breakthrough. What are you hearing? Could it be as soon as 3 to 4 days?
Not less than that, Shiv, at least. So because side drifting will take at least 10 to 12 days, and that has been announced by the Transport Secretary Anurag Jain just a few minutes ago in the national capital while briefing the media. As far as the horizontal drilling right behind me from Silkyara tunnel is concerned, it hasn't even started yet. The operation was halted on 17th November, and the reason is that there are several reasons: topographical reason, the physical condition, and also there have been being this seismic region, there was also a mild tremor, and because of that, those activities, the first attempt was to first ensure safety of the workers which are already engaged in the ongoing rescue operation. So they had to first made a 40-meter long minute tunnel inside this ongoing operational tunnel. So after only completing the safety point of that, only this pipe insertion and the drilling that will start. In fact, a short while from now, there will be a press conference from NIHL DLC where there will be more information. Even as far as vertical as we speak, Shiv, just a couple of hours ago, I made some attempt while tracking 6 kilometers from the alternative mountain to reach that particular point. The terrain has been made totally flat, but there needs to be construction of a flat platform. Then the drilling machine will take place. As we speak, the ONGC team is also doing a recce all around of this area from the vertical position, from the side drift, and all the multiple options being explored. But along with the logistics, supply, formation, construction, and remember, this is not just an ordinary boring. You go and bring some pipe and drill it. You need a proper establishment, installation, mounting on the mountains, on the hills, and only then you start drilling, only after due course of a survey and reports. So because of those are a time-taking process, let me tell you, the fastest way and the only option at the moment looks like is the drilling, which is already happening right behind me, 24 meter, nearly halfway through, just after just crossing the blockade which is already disrupting the this machine. There will be a major breakthrough, but it will take at least 2 to 3 days only after the machine being operational.
It's, the number of challenges being faced. And I think, Ashu, you did very well to explain that in detail because, most people are wondering, Arey, ye to pahad hai, why can't you just easily drill through it? And like Amit was pointing out, this drilling is extremely specialized. There are rocks, there is debris, there is a danger of more debris falling where the workers are trapped. Let's never forget that is also one of the risks, and that's the reason why this is an extremely precarious and very, very precise engineering task that is being undertaken. It's not simply that you push some pipes into the mountain and expect that the workers will climb out of there. It's sitting on a razor's edge. I'm going to come back to you, Ashu and Amit, in the course of our coverage. Thank you very much for the moment, for joining me here with the clarity on where things are at. Not less than 4 to 5 days before a rescue will take place. 41 laborers stuck in Uttarkashi waiting to be rescued. This is a human story. The tunnel rescue operations are on day 10. 5 agencies are working around the clock in order to ensure that the momentum that they've had thus far does not slacken. Prime Minister Modi has spoken to the Uttarakhand Chief Minister Pushkar Dhami, taking stock at every hour. Work to build the backup rescue tunnel from the Barkot end has also started, like I demonstrated. And you've got all agencies continuing to drill from the Silkyara end after working safety arrangements. So 3 different directions in which drilling is taking place, from each side of the tunnel as well as from the mountain top on which the tunnel is built through. For the first time after 9 days, workers received a proper protein-rich meal on Monday evening. That's the good news, because vertical drilling is likely to start later today, through which more supplies will possibly be sent down. It's also easier, remember, thanks to gravity, to send equipment, batteries, battery chargers, etc., through that vertical tunnel.
सभी एजेंसियां और सभी जो इंजीनियर, टेक्नीशियन, विशेषज्ञ इस काम में लगे हैं, उनकी मेहनत और परिश्रम से 6 इंच की जो पाइप है वो अंदर पहुंच गई है और उससे अब भोजन और सभी प्रकार की जो खाद्य सामग्री है उनके लिए पहुंच पाएगी। निश्चित रूप से ये हम सबको प्रोत्साहित करने वाली है और हम भगवान से प्रार्थना करते हैं कि जल्दी से जल्दी ये रेस्क्यू अभियान पूरा हो, हमारे सभी श्रमिक भाई कुशलता से बाहर आएं।
And one of the international experts most sought after for this kind of rescue is thankfully on site. He's been there for the last couple of days. You saw him on India Today first, but given how fast the story is changing, we've brought him back here on 5 Live. Arnold Dix is president of the International Tunneling and Underground Space Association, and he's on site. He joins me live now. Arnold, thank you very much for being with me. As someone who's seen such tunnel collapses in the past and specializes in resolving such crises, what is your latest assessment of how things are looking?
Yep, thank you. Thank you for inviting me here. I've been on site now for 24 hours and I am very impressed with what I've seen. These conditions, as you know, you well know, are the most extreme conditions on the planet. The Himalayan mountains are quite dynamic. And as you know, we know that with the effects of climate change and the change in storm frequencies, these road linkages which are being put through these parts of your country are so critical, because what we're seeing is that the change to the nature of storms and frequencies, what have you, is really disrupting even existing roads. So I really commend you on what you're doing with your roads. If I can just turn to the emergency. This emergency is really serious, and obviously that's why I've come. Literally a phone call, and I was here as quickly as I could. Behind me, although you can't see it, I've got the International Tunneling Association, 80 member nations. All of those nations have given their support to me. I've got a team of, it's about 60 subject matter experts behind. We're busy doing whatever we can to assist the team here. And the team here is awesome. The team here understand the mountains better than anyone else on earth, and I have been shocked in a really positive way about the way the local state, the federal administration, the army, everyone just working together. And you're going to see over the next few days a real consolidation of what we've been busy planning, and together we've got some I think terrific news for you very shortly. And today, for example, we've got another one of these lifeline tunnels has actually been successfully put in. So we've got 2 ways to get air, food, medicine, everything in. That gives us a big sigh of relief. And, we're looking forward to great progress moving forward.
Arnold, I can't tell you how good it feels to hear reassuring words from someone like you. Someone who has seen crises like these before, who belongs to the Tunneling Association and has that, strength behind him. So for you to say, sound so positive, I can tell you it means a lot, not just to the families, but to everyone watching right now. I think it's one of the first unequivocal notes of positivity and optimism that has been sounded. And from someone like you, someone as luminous as you, it means a lot. Now, speaking about the specifics, Arnold, the effort to reach the workers is obviously the priority. Food's reached them, like you said, another lifeline has reached them as well. The pipes, as we understand it, are being inserted, one from the top and one from each side. In your view, with everything you know at this point of time, which method do you think will succeed?
So I'm not sure if there's been an announcement about which methods are being deployed. I think that's being announced tomorrow. And if you tell me there's been an announcement, then I can talk to them. But if there hasn't been an announcement, it would be wrong for me to talk to them.
I understand that, but any light you can throw, Arnold, on the challenges that are being faced. Like you said, since you've arrived there, lots of different agencies doing, an amazing job in a very, very challenging situation. Can you explain to us what the challenges are? Break those down for us.
So if I can just talk to you about then generally the different approaches and why that you've got them there. And this is on the basis that what you've just asked me is public knowledge and has been released. So I'm trusting you. I'm standing here with a mountain behind me. I've got no idea what's happening. There's very poor communications here. So on the basis what you're telling me is true, this is how I see it. For the rescue mission within the tunnel in the area that's collapsed, it's the most likely to occur quickly, but it also has a number of complications and dangers because what we've seen is that the tunnel has already collapsed. So on the one hand, it might be quick, but on the other hand, it poses some dangers because the mountain has already told us that it's not happy. The mountain has already collapsed in that area. So it's potentially quickest, but it's also risky because it's an area that's already unstable. And then if we say go to above the mountain, so today I went to the top of the mountain and I looked at the rocks there. The rocks there were fantastic. So for your viewers, it was as if there was a gift from nature in the rocks because exactly above the tunnel, exactly where the discussion is to do the vertical drill, is this beautiful piece of rock perfectly suited to do this task. Not anywhere else. It's like it's put there especially for the task. And so I thought this was an amazing thing. So the difficulty there is we have to drill down through a mountain and we have to exactly aim to hit the tunnel. But we're more than very high above the tunnel. So if we get even out by 1 degree, the vertical shaft might miss. So the challenge there is we have to be very accurate and also it takes a fair bit of time. And then coming in from the side, which is another possibility, that is to come from the side of the mountain in, that's also possible. But the technology that we use for doing that is slow. So that also takes quite a lot of time. And we'll be going through ground that we haven't excavated through before. So that would be from the side. And then coming from the other end of the tunnel, all the way back around the other side, that's very sure because that's actually along the alignment that's been studied. And so we'd have a high degree of confidence in that, but that would take an even longer period of time. So all of these different options, they have a balancing of risk and they also have a question of time. And one of the things that I'm passionate about, and I know the whole team are as well, we're going to rescue 41 men. We don't want to hurt anyone else in the process. So that's our challenge right now. And as I say, today has been a good day. Yep, ask away.
Your optimism is infectious, Arnold, and I really commend you for that because, like I said, it is so reassuring to hear someone like you say it. But, you're calling rock fantastic. It's easy to drill through, or at least there are less challenges. But as these rescue lifelines are being penetrated through all that debris, what happens if there is loose earth? Is there a risk of more debris collapsing in the space that is being penetrated or in the place where the 41 workers are currently located? Is that a risk?
Yeah, so in your mountains, in your Himalayas, they've been squashed and twisted. So imagine once upon a time they were flat and now they're all squashed and twisted. So just by some miracle, exactly above the tunnel, exactly on the top of the mountain where the tunnel is underneath, exactly at that point, some rock has ended up flat and very hard rock sitting there so that we can drill from that point down into the tunnel. This hard rock is nowhere else. It's sitting there. It's been twisted up and it's been put there in exactly the right location. And it's hard rock, like concrete hard rock. Whereas all the other rock that I've been touching at the mountain, and I go in and I touch it and I check it, because that's what geologists do, it's very soft. This is why it fell down. But this rock at the top of the mountain, exactly in the correct spot above the tunnel, perfect for this job. It's perfect to build the machine to drill down to rescue the men.
And finally, Arnold, the question that everyone's asking, and I know it's difficult because this is a meticulous operation. There are many challenges. There are many things to take into account. If you could throw me a number, how many days or weeks is this going to take before we see these men being rescued?
I was in New Zealand for Diwali when it began, and so I danced in New Zealand for Diwali, and my understanding is these men would have been dancing for Diwali when they went in for work. I'm confident that they'll be singing Christmas carols for Christmas. What I'm not sure is exactly where between Diwali and Christmas they'll be joining us back here. That I really don't know. It could be in a few days, it could be in a few weeks, but it will be before Christmas. So we've got two celebrations there, Diwali, Christmas, somewhere in the middle.
Okay, Diwali is over, but Christmas is ahead, and it's the first time we've heard something as definite as that. Before Christmas, you're hoping all of this will be wrapped up, but that's an upper limit, which means anywhere between 4 to 5 days to maybe another month is the possibility. I know that's a big range that we're talking about, but that actually is a manifestation of how complicated and uncertain things are right now. There are big challenges and variables ahead in terms of the progress that each of those evacuation pipes is taking, and that's why experts on the ground, you've heard from Arnold, Dix is giving you a range of anywhere between 5 days and 30 days. That is an expert analysis, and that is an indication of where things are on right now. Light at the end of the tunnel, literally, but we'll only call it that once those 41 men are fully rescued. It continues to be our top story here on India Today.